This is Jason Long with Long Talks Video Podcast, and I'm here with Herb Forkenbrock and his grandson Carter, and they are in Juniper, Florida, and we're going to get the review on the whole take with spring training, the lockout, and what they've envisioned and what they've encompassed going forward. And it's hard. I know you guys can't hear going into this. It's hard to cut that off because uh it's got baseball's got me through so many things as far as divorce and just through a lot of hard times. So again, Herb, we're gonna kind of focus this around Carter. And Carter, what is your take on the the lockout that we had and kind of what you've experienced being there?
I did not like it at all because I thought I wasn't able to go to spring training this year, and I thought that a lot of bad stuff was going to happen all around about it because I thought the players would be mad, the fans would be mad, a lot of just negative things in the community would happen over time, but they fixed it.
So it's basically all's forgiven then basically with the
Well,
experience you've
I
had
think
down
the
there.
thing that he'll tell you is that he was concerned we weren't going down to spring training. We were on the ball and said we may not be going.
Right.
We may be canceled. And he was, so let's put it this way, he was unhappy with the players at that point.
Right.
You know, it looked like we were canceling. It was the players that were pushing against it. So
Right. So what's your experience down there, Carter? What have you experienced since you've been down there?
It is a really good area to be in, especially at this time with all the people around. All the people are really nice out here, and the community of baseball around here is all around really good. The games are really good. You get to see the starters, the prospects, the just the very low minor leaguers. You get to see the whole organization at play at once. I
Right.
think it's a really good time to be here.
So who's your favorite person that you got to see so far?
Well, Paul Goldschmidt, he's just my favorite player, so probably that.
So he's
yeah,
your
once he
favorite.
got to,
He's your favorite even before he
after he
got
got
over
involved
there.
with Arenado, he got his autograph. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about that because I watched. I mean, now you didn't even say Nolan, which had the 2 run home run, and I'm going over last night when you guys were there. So you like Goldschmidt over Nolan?
Yeah, because when I went in 2019 to watch the Cardinals series, that was just my favorite player that I saw at first. So
Right. So what is
Man, that guy.
what is I guess I would say going through and I think you got a great opportunity with your grandpa the being down there and being able to experience stuff that a lot of people don't get to experience. So what would you say to some of your friends if any of them said, if their parents were maybe saying, hey, you know what, forget this, is it's a strike, and those kids don't get to experience going down and being 3 rows behind home plate and get an autograph ball. What would you bring to them or to keep baseball alive if we went through and someday your grandpa will maybe he already has will explain the 98 strike, but to people that says, hey, you know what, this is what it was like. What can you bring back to somebody, whether it's at school or whether it's I know you're big into hockey or whatever or baseball. What can you bring back to say, hey, you know what, give these guys a chance, let's keep baseball alive?
I think it's like the two different sides of it, and how that people just gotta play the game instead of focusing on money over like they should just play the game how it is. They're getting paid. They're gonna get paid. That's just how it is. But I think they should strive for the community over paycheck, and they should try to be with the fans, try to do good, and be alive.
Man, you got a bright grandson, man. I tell you what, this guy
Oh,
here.
he's on the high honor roll and freshman on the high honor roll list, so he better.
I tell you what, man, Herb. So why don't you give me your take? Being down there, I mean, I've seen what you posted and everything, but how's spring training looking for the Cardinals so far? I mean, and especially like you said, Will and McGee. I mean, uh,
It's
wow.
really been a good experience for Carter. And I told him, I said, it's a whole different thing versus when you're at, one of the main fields back in St. Louis or Chicago. And you see the players communicate more. He had a long talk with Dylan Carson, who is really considered one of the best young players out there today. He's a hell of a ball player. Um, he had a long talk with him over there while he was getting his autograph. And he just so happened to get in a conversation as he continued to sign people's baseballs. But a lot of them came over. There are some that still didn't come over, but it just seems like the morale was good. They know they're back playing. Um, it was a good game yesterday. Today wasn't so good. The Cardinals got shellacked. But a lot of it was because they're playing their young players. I mean, we had opportunities. We had 11 hits, and one guy who's supposed to be their future didn't do anything. He had bases loaded. He had second and third. He didn't hit them in for nothing. He looked like Nervous Nelly up there. So, I mean, it was a bad thing. But we got to see Wainwright today pitch and Verlander, two of the best pitchers in the game. And they really look good today. So I think the experience, just to tell people they ought to see this new stadium that we went to the Houston, Washington Stadium today. And we're going there tomorrow to watch those two play. But anyway, $150 million they paid to build that stadium. Now, I understand if anybody knows about how things are down here, they're basically relying on spring training for the money because once the Grapefruit League starts, they're lucky if there's 500 fans there.
Right.
So where they're going to come up and get that money, but boy, you want to talk about a state of the art facility? My God, it's just gorgeous. I mean, and then we had great seats. We're 3 rows back.
What time is the game tomorrow?
Tomorrow's at 6:40, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's a night game tomorrow.
Nationals versus Astros.
I tell you what, if you guys get a chance, and this would be pretty cool. I mean, you guys enjoy your own time. But tomorrow, if you guys get a chance and we can go, I don't care how we do it. I'll talk to Brittany. We'll send something where if we can go live from that game, that'd be cool as heck. As we get a first-hand experience, even if it's before the game or whatever.
I could probably do it off my phone, couldn't I?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll talk to Brittany and I'll text you on how we on how we could do it.
I'm sure you could do what you're doing right now. Just send that link and then
right.
we'll get on there and then I can show the game and everything on it.
Yeah, we'll do that. But that'd be cool, man. It'd be a night game down there, and man, that'd be cool as heck. One last question I wanted to ask is, Carter, what is your favorite thing about the stadium that was down there? I mean, you've been down there before, obviously, correct? I know you have.
He's never been here. No.
Oh, this is your first time. Oh, wow.
First time.
So what was your favorite thing about Roger Dean Stadium? What was, I mean, of all the things, I mean, I know you've been to different ballparks, but what was your favorite thing about being down at spring training?
I think it's nice that it's just a small field, and it was just packed with Cardinals fans. It was pretty much the whole stadium was Cardinals fans.
There was no Marlin fans.
There was almost none. And it was just cool seeing everyone there at just a considered small event.
Okay, and so one last thing here, and man, I know I told your grandpa I was going to put you, I was going to have a bunch of questions for you, but so
yeah, go ahead, fire away, he'll answer.
If you're looking at if a baseball fan is on the fence, let's just say somebody your age, or even if it's an adult, and they're ticked off about this afternoon, this lockout that they had. What words would you have to say to them after coming back from spring training to try and change their mind?
I think it's back to a better mood with all the players. The players were so happy almost 24/7. They were happy even if they got out, even if something bad happened. They were all just happy, smiling the whole time. They were happy playing baseball again. They were being nice to the fans. Everyone was. The coaches were happy to be back. The umps even were. They were all happy. Everyone was happy out there.
Just kind of like business as usual then.
Yeah, and we even went over, well, today while we were there, Washington was they let us go over by where they're at, and all their minor league players were playing. And the players that were playing today, wherever Washington was waiting to get on the bus. But we were over in that area, and Carter and I were watching, and all the coaches had them doing their typical drills. Everything they have, like I said, the facility is just unbelievable. I can't explain it. Like he said, "My God, the fields." He said that these are practice fields. These fields are better than any fields that you see back home, and they are. I mean, they even had just a strictly infield field.
Wow.
And it's like a regular ball field. I mean, it's nice. It's got this high netting and everything. It's like, man, and they said they paid $150 million for this facility to get built, and it's just
for a minor league field. I mean, or for a spring training field. Holy cow!
It's just the money they spent, and it's like we went to the one card shop, and the guy says, "Yeah, I don't know why he's spending money. He says, I live right down the road, and I have no plans to go watch spring training at all or see any games even in the Grapefruit League." He says, "Nobody does." He says, "Why they built it?" I said, "Well, I know why they built it. They're hoping all the hotel revenue, everything, so I'm sure they got donations from somebody for all that money." And,
well, they had to. I mean, all the commerce has to be coming in through there.
I'm telling you, it had luxury boxes, it had everything, and it just all kind of different stuff you could eat there. It was like going to White Sox or Wrigley Field as far as the concession stuff. But boy, I mean, like Carter said, the players were really good talking to the kids that were there, signing the autographs. I got to talk to Paul DeYoung a little bit. He was a catcher at Illinois State back in the day, and he caught my best friend, childhood friend, which a lot of people know, Jeff Altmeyer. His son Alec was a pitcher at Illinois State, and DeYoung was the catcher, and they're best of friends. I even said, "Hey, tell Alec I said hi, tell his dad," and we're just talking. And he even played back in the day with the Hounds. That's in my stuff, in my travel baseball tournaments. And he's just a great guy. He's a great defensive player. I think that's why the Cardinals kept him. I know a lot of people thought they were going to take Trevor Story. They didn't. The Red Sox signed him. So it was good to see that he's hitting the ball hard again. But like I said, a lot of them were joking around. Even some of the coaches when they were coming out there. I mean, that's what I explained to Carter. I said, you got to realize you're not out there to win when you come down here for these games. Or there to check all these players out. Everybody's kind of free willy. And of course, back in the day, I said when I used to come down here, when I had a lot of buddies that coached and played, well, I'd go out to dinner, like you and I were talking when I went out with all the White Sox pitchers and Don Cooper and everything, and different things like that. I said I really watched the game a little bit, but I was more thinking about when I'm going to get to talk to them about stuff. And then even kids get to, and even adults. I mean, it just seems like there's your chance. If you ever want to, let's say the Cubs in Arizona, you ever want to go there and get a chance to talk to some of those players. I mean, you could probably even talk them into doing a podcast while you're there. They're more than willing to do that.
Right.
Because they know this is the chance for the fans, because now they're going to shut them out once the games start. Once you start the season, you've been to the games, they don't come up and sign nothing or talk to you.
Right. And that's what we always used to say to the kids, my boys are older now, but you want autographs, go on spring training, because once the regular season starts, them guys ain't worried about doing autographs and stuff like that.
No, they're not, and they don't talk to you. They're strictly business.
Right. And it was how you would.
I mean, it's a shame, because I think back, we were having this guy. I was actually having a conversation with a Boston Red Sox fan that was there, and he says, it's a shame that these guys automatically aren't, because of what's going on, that they're not out there signing. All of them aren't signing. And I said, well, sometimes they don't, but I said, I remember, I brought up the game that I went to, my very first one, when I had Gibson and Carlton pitching and Holtzman and Jenkins. I said, I got autographs from almost everybody from both teams. Billy Williams, Ernie Banks, all of them. They're all standing there autographed. But that's how it used to be. It was about the fans.
Right.
Now it's kind of slipped away. I know they keep saying they're there for the fans, but I think this is one way to do this. And I can't think of the player, maybe you can, Jason. Remember, was it 2 years ago, the one player got a ball, he tossed it in the stands, and the little girl asked if he could autograph it. He walked over there and autographed it during the game, and they fined him. I can't remember the player. Remember when he got fined for that? I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember it for some reason. I have the Mets
he got fined
that
with like $15,000, and I thought that's nuts. He was trying to be nice to the fan and go give that little girl an autograph after he tossed the ball to her.
I don't remember that off the top of my head. I do not remember
I'm
that.
trying to think of the player, and he got fined $15,000. And trust me, there was a lot of comments by people when that happened. Like, really, you're gonna fine this guy for being a good Samaritan?
Jeez Louise, man.
And I don't know why I don't know if it's for protection. I don't know why. I mean, we've seen fans go nuts and go out on the field. You know, I've seen it.
Right.
You know, you've seen it.
Right.
And I've seen hockey game go into the penalty box, jump in and start fighting with the hockey player.
Right.
Sometimes fans can be unruly, but I just think that
something like that. Yeah, there's no reason for that. There's no reason for that.
No, he's being a nice guy. Actually, he was a rookie. That was the thing. He was a rookie. Maybe they wanted to make sure he's straight on that. So.
Right. Okay. Well, I have to tell you what. Let's end this here and let's shoot for tomorrow afternoon. I'll be in contact with you, Herb. Carter, Thank you so much for your input, because to me, even more than your grandpa is what he brings to the table. To hear from younger fans like you that especially have a chance to go down to spring training and to really, you get up personal, which a lot of people even going to the regular Major League Baseball games don't get that intimacy with the players. So I want to thank you especially for this afternoon for giving me your input into this, because it really puts into perspective what's important. That is the younger players that are going to this game, that someday you're going to bring your kids, you're going to bring your grandkids to this game. And it is stating, looking past, maybe some of the stuff that we don't agree with, but what the game of baseball really stands for. And your grandpa, just like me, I mean, it's, we could sit all day and list of stuff that's got us through, but it's keeping this game going and pushing it for what for the good that it stands for. So again, Carter, I thank you so much. And Herb, again, thank you so much for having kids and having them raise grandkids and keep this love going. And tomorrow afternoon, even before that, I'll be in contact with you, and we'll see if we can link something up tomorrow when you guys are at that night game.
Yeah, and yes, I can absolutely. I can just set my phone where they can watch the game a little bit if you want to see the game and everything, and more willing to do that.
Yeah, then that'd be a real cool view for everybody else. And once again, Herb Forkenbrock with his grandson Carter, thank you guys so much from Juniper, Florida. Thank you, man, absolutely, buddy, anytime. And we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night, man.
All righty.
All right.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks. Have a great night.
Take care.
Bye.
You too.